Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with this Papal States campaign. Last time around we liberated Belgium, however the Prussians, just one turn afterwards, says no, we'll have that, and they invaded it, so Belgium is unfortunately no more. It's part of the Prussian Empire. So, like, the Prussians have done nothing to aid us against Napoleon, more or less, or like they haven't been able to take a single territory. The only advance they've made is against me, their ally, which, god damn it, damn the Prussians. Anyways, I was hoping I had different ideas of where to strike next. Unfortunately for me, the French are striking at me, so we got one army down here, but even worse, we've got one army on the bridge here. So what it looks like today is I'm gonna have to defend, or try to not defend, actually attack. I'm gonna have to attack and throw out the French from our current occupied territory, and yeah, before I can even try to go ahead and attack. My ideas for attack was, you know what, I had lots of ideas, but we're not going to go through any of them today because it doesn't matter, because I won't be able to do them today. So we've got two battles, right? And both of them looks like it's going to be bridge battles, which is not that great. But we're going to start with this one up here. So there's a French army. As you can see, my armies are stationed on bridges, and that's to block the enemy's advance. And because the AI doesn't go for bridge battles, they have avoided us, and they have instead set up for bridge battles of their own, as it were. We're gonna start with having Pompeo Gambrelli go ahead and attack this army here, right next to Paris. We're gonna see about dealing with this. The good thing about this is that I'm hoping that there are units, as we defeat these, there will be units that won't be recruitable outside of French territory, and so that this will be a way to strike at the French to remove armies. So there will be their ability to wage war will slowly but surely diminish as they're not able to replenish troops. As you know, I can only recruit from Rome. Similarly, the French can only recruit specific French regiments from France. Now, because the game is kind of, or the mod is kind of, in a way, set up for France, the French have a lot of different auxiliary troops that they can recruit from conquered territories compared to other nations. They probably have the most of those. So they'll still have a fighting force, but hopefully what we'll see is we won't see those elite units being recruited from outside. So there will be no more young guard, old guard, stuff like that. Hopefully. That's the hope anyways, because we've taken all of France. But enough talking, let's go ahead and fight this bridge battle. Let's cross the bridge and destroy the French. Which is going to be a task of itself, looking at the enemy army, because look at all the cannons they have. We're going to have to advance across the river under heavy bombardment, which means high casualties, and it's going to take a long time before we recover and are able to move on our own actions, which is certainly not great. But here we are, needing to defend our newly conquered territory against the French. Here's the plan on how to cross this river. So I'm gonna have the main attack going across the wading spot, of course, because it's the widest point and you can get a lot of troops across. So we're gonna have the light troops and the grenadiers marching across there, making their way up towards the enemy. We got the cavalry coming in after they clear the way. The cavalry is gonna come in after. Actually, it should be the other way around, shouldn't it? The cavalry goes in first, and then the grenadiers and the light troop come in after. On the other side, we've got the bridge, which is very narrow. It's not a great way to attack, but we're gonna have the infantry come across there because I want to space out the enemy. They've got so many cannons, I don't want them to focus on a single area. So I want them to be a little bit all over the place. Since the infantry is not as strong as the light infantry and the grenadiers, they have the support of the general, and both batteries will be on this side. I'm not entirely sure where the enemy has placed any of their troops, as we cannot see anything. But yeah, we won't see anything until we start, will we? So we'll go ahead and start. Take a look at what the enemy's got. So we got cavalry to back up the guns. We got the 2 8-pounders over there. And on this side we got 6. That's a great shot right away, taking out 2 of the horse carriages and a cannon. Reducing this one to a single cannon basically. And it's a howitzer on that side. That's good. We got infantry marching forward. Let's go ahead and start off the cavalry on this side. They're gonna move across the bridge, the river first. And then we'll have the others cross right after. And then we'll have the infantry coming across. You know what? Look at this. There's so much infantry right next to it here. Now luckily I was able to take out a lot of the enemy cannons. Oh wait, they are... what the hell? Okay, the 2 strongmen of this army, of the French army, is rolling the cannons on their own really fast, just the same as the horse carriage. Okay, I want you to break that. We're not gonna cross the bridge when it looks like this. We're gonna have to wait a little bit to try and cross there. We are successfully crossing here with the cavalry coming across. Looks like the enemy is just about to set up their cannons. What I want for that is my dragoons to move in first, because I think they should have they had heavy cavalry around here just a minute ago, so we'll expect them to still be there. How is my bombardment of this going along? Okay, now we took out the other batteries and then, or the other carriage, that won't be able to move that one. What I would like though is to move the cannons closer to the point where I can fire canister across the water, because the enemy is heading up just on the other side. We are not receiving a whole lot of damage through the enemy, so I think I'll be dared to move these forward. Right, oh, the cavalry is just about to come back. If I had been quicker, I guess I could have quickly moved on these howitzers. Seems like they're focused on the bridge, which means that most of my army won't be able to cross here, of course. But it also means that my toughest troops will be the ones breaking up through their flank as they move across here. I want to move up and we see if we can bind some of the enemy troops there. And I still have the plan to try and cross the bridge here. It seems like they're moving now, a lot of troops to this side. Before they go ahead and change their minds with the cannons, I'm gonna order a charge. The light troops should stay close to the grenadiers, as we will be making our way into the flank. Yeah, they seem to be moving away now. A lot of them. We will be setting up for canister work here. I will set up a troop. Actually, I only need one on one side of the on one side, I think. They're not going to deploy any troops here. The rest will be on this side, and we will start soon to move across, because we need that aid, because they are moving a lot of troops this way right now. Let's have the hussars and the rest of the cavalry move up towards the hill. I think what we'll do for in terms of the infantry here is I'll have the light troops up on that side, and then the grenadiers more towards the riverside, and we'll have it set up like that. Let's set up the cannons, and now I want to start to cross the troops. They seem to have stopped their advance, so they're no longer advancing on us, or at least the troops trying to cross the bridge. I want to see here what's the range of my canister. If it fires around to that part, actually where the kind of road cuts off. I'll have them on canister right now as we start to cross here. Looks fine right now. Let's get these guys in order and then start pushing them towards the enemy. My troops are now crossing the bridge. They are getting attacked as they cross the bridge. I did originally have it set up that the one with 3 chevrons would be the first one to cross. That changed. They still have round shot that's firing through here. Imagine if they managed to get a shot bouncing through all of these guys. They are firing howitzers at the bridge. The troops are in order here. I will order an advance. And we will order the cavalry up through the flank here. Cavalry has been ordered to a charge. We'll set one in square, and then each unit that comes across will be turning off to this side, which is safer to deploy at. And now my troops here, I'm closing in. So we're slowly closing in on the enemy here. A little bit worried these cannons, probably within canister range. So they might be firing canister on this square. But I think they will actually hit less people when we're in square than compared to line. I don't dare move the general across just yet. Right, these guys continue forward. Alright, now the switching's places again. Switch to round shot. All the infantry except this guy is across, so we're gonna send across the 3rd, or no, not the 3rd, that's the 6th and last unit of infantry. I'm gonna order these guys out into line at the same time. These troops are about to come against the enemy. Right, there they are. We've got voltigeurs being sighted. Into line quickly. You can drop the square now, as we're now setting up lines here to advance. So we're gonna fight the light troops firing from up ahead. Light troops should probably not stand in a way to take direct fire from regiments, so we'll order them back. The enemy seems to be attacking over here. We took out a cannon on this side. Heavy casualties against the Voltigeur company. They've got great accuracy. You know what? There's no way we'll be able to hold this position as we are currently. I will order the dragoons to charge. We'll see if we can get the light troops to go in. I'm going to order a charge by one of the grenadier units. Actually 2. And then the other 2 will take the place of them. The hussars will swing in behind. Ooh, line infantry over here, not in the best of shape. But now it's only the general, so it's working. Okay, my charge worked. We broke down the Voltigeur company. And now we can set up lines again to trade fire with the enemy. Trading fire with the Voltigeurs would have been, in the long run, it would have been disastrous for us. Dragoons are doing their job. Ooh, we're about to get charged over here. As these guys were setting up, they're getting hit in the back. I'm gonna send the general across. There's a risk of... There's a great risk for the troops on this side. So the general's gonna come across and support these troops. Have we broken down all their cannons now? Seems like it. My cavalry is still having a hard time breaking through. They just broke through on this regiment just in time. Let's wipe out as many of them as possible before I order them to turn against the dragoons. We're doing great over here. The general has come across. The enemy dragoons are right there. I'm gonna order one of the lines to stop and fire upon him. The other three will need to move forward. The hussars are in bad shape up here. The general can come up behind. The enemy is moving away. Right.
Sir! Sir!
I want the cannons to fire on the cavalry up there. A lot of units are breaking. I am going to order a general of the advance of the grenadiers. I'm hoping this one holds for long enough that this troop that's firing here will break them. And my hussars actually held out. I was really worried there that the hussars wouldn't hold out. I think a few cannon shots going through the cavalry there did the job. Light troops again. The grenadiers will charge. I will order multiple charges. Unfortunately here my dragoons got beaten by the veteran infantry. Napoleon's veteran infantry over there. They're tired. But the battle is almost over. Right, the enemy was broken there, wonderful. Now, let's set up there. And I want canister this way. I want the general over here. This unit will hold and form square. Gets a little bit of a morale boost when it goes into square. And hopefully that's enough. The grenadiers fighting hard against a light regiment. It won't hold, as I've got plenty more troops. The dragoons are back. We'll have to go through that. Okay, once you're back in order, up to the front line. Currently we've got lots of canister going across the water. Focus in on the grenadier regiment over there. They're kind of firing into each other. Who's running now? It's the hussars. No surprise there. I think there was like another unit coming to intercept in the middle of all of this. And that's why they kind of broke apart. We're going to order the cavalry units away. I guess the light troops on their own there can probably hold it. The enemy is being sandwiched in between my advancing grenadiers and the line infantry on this side. And then we're firing a lot of canister across the water here. What if I fire a bit of round shot? Right, the hussars are back, both of them. But I'll order them to keep their distance. Since the light troops are now just kind of in a firing contest, there's no idea of keeping them in line. because we now have space to move them around. Are we getting... I think we're getting flank shots by this unit. I'm gonna order all the grenadiers forward to kind of avoid that, as the 3rd Grenadiers are taking a heavy hit there. Yeah, they surely were firing on those. They've lost half the unit. Soon enough this battle will be over. We're probably shooting at our own troops. I just wanted some cool shots of hopefully some cannonballs bouncing through this unit. I'm gonna detach 1 Grenadier to go after them. The other 3 will be turned around. Got the general right there. The enemy general is right over here. The light troops should be able to deal with that on their own. I mean, the hussars are still tired. Oh god. Got Nassau Grenadiers. I'm gonna support with the general, and I think that will be enough. Like, the enemy will be broken. Let's get rid of that general. I'm gonna order canister shot on him. Not canister shot, we're gonna order round shot on him. He's perfectly lined up that we can bounce a few shots and completely get rid of him. I think that's kind of the key to not having this army, any of the units coming back to kill him. So I'm gonna send the dragoons to try and intercept him. The hussars did their job there. It's that veteran regiment that holds on. I say that as they just break. And there we got our victory. We need to run them down and chase them completely out of this area. But other than that, our victory is complete. Here's the result of that battle. We deployed about equal forces. The enemy lost 3,600, while I lost 1,600. We still have 3,000 men. They have about 600 men after the battle. In terms of the highest kills, it goes to one of the Grenadiers, followed by Dragoons, followed by the Grenadiers. And then we've got Hussar Regiment right there. Nothing more interesting to be said. Cannons, even though they had pretty good shots, they didn't kill that many. But they did take out the guns, so that is worth its weight in gold for sure. Let's figure out which one is the one that killed the most. It has 249. 249, it's this one. I can't remember exactly which this one is, but... Ooh, we even get a famous battle marker. Battle of Orleans. Now, I definitely don't want to leave these guys running around the French countryside burning stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and delete them. And then we're gonna hurry our back to Paris. I'm probably looking at quite a few turns to replenish these, especially the cavalry. Like 3 or 4 probably for the cavalry. Right, here's the second one, which I think is gonna be harder. So we got Pietro, he needs to move down and deal with this army right here. I'm kind of sure that they will intercept me once I cross the bridge. They did not, in fact, intercept me. I was sure they were going to do that. They didn't. Right. At least we took that army out of the... There's another one here. My Hussars are able to chase him down, but I don't know what it is. And currently the Hussars are down quite a few troopers, so I wouldn't be comfortable sending them on their own, even with the general. If that's a strong infantry regiment, or worse yet, a dragoon regiment, guard dragoons, then we have a very bad time. Now let's go ahead and take a look here. Since we've really been diminishing the French right now quite a lot, you would imagine that it is unchanged, terrifying and spectacular. Well, anything else I need to do here? No. Let's go ahead and end turn then and see if we've got a second battle. Here I should actually have moved onto the bridge, so we could have defended for a bridge battle, but that's what hindsight, or whatever they say. Paris besieged? What troop did I miss that have started to siege Paris? It's a single unit. This single unit has laid siege to Paris. Well, the ambition of whoever is in charge of this one regiment, I applaud you. You got some balls laying siege to the entirety of Paris. It's one regiment of light infantry. We could have probably done that. Pretty pitiful though, the force that we actually gain out of the town. There's 2 local partisan units to fight for the Pope. That's about what we can muster in terms of loyalty from the Parisians.
Una vittoria gloriosa.
A quick out-resolve, and order is restored. We'll go and order them into Paris. The army that was here is now gone. And as I was checking my phone instead of looking at where the AI was sending the troops, I have no idea where that army went. But I could speculate that, you know what, I set him to attack, right? So he's continuing on that order, and so we can follow the stream to find where the enemy army went. He went, holy shit, he ran all the way here. Okay. Well, that's a strategy as well, I guess. Right, that's good, because that frees this army up to... Why is it red here? It's like they're hiding a troop. But they don't really, do they? We're gonna be moving back to defend this.
marcia!
And then what I'm going to do is we're going to make sure that we can pass through Prussian territory. And we're going to take this area out, I'm thinking. We have old guards here. But I'm thinking we're going to go take this. We're going to hand it over to the Prussians. Hopefully the Prussians can hold it. And we're going to work our way through there. And oh! We've got a small army that has slipped through the mountain pass. And is going against us. We need to organize then this army.
Signore.
Okay, so they're gonna see like a proper field battle now, which is going to be difficult. Even though we heavily outnumber this army. It's an army comprised completely of militia. We got nothing to put up against cavalry. French grenadiers, light troops, conscripts, barges and line infantry, Confederation of the Rhine, a pretty seasoned general, cavalry, grenadiers, light troops. Those are the difficulty, I would say. The other troops, I feel I can overcome. Now, the advantage here is I've got cannons, they don't, and I outnumber them 2 to 1. But still, this is militia army. But without further ado, let's go ahead and fight this fight, shall we? The enemy is attacking a little bit earlier than I thought. And they're sending in the cavalry. God damn it, I was unfortunate not to be able to order my cannons to fire in a proper way. Luckily I did station the 2 most seasoned militia units right next to each other here, with the general in support. I'm gonna move you back, and I'm gonna move you back. I don't know if they will stand for these multiple charges though. General definitely needs to support this flank right here. I was hoping I'd be able to fire my cannons onto the cavalry and break them that way. And I was hoping I'd be able to have most of my troops move up on the high ground here. Clearly that did not happen. We're gonna continue here on the outflanking maneuver. And then hope that we will be able to hold. This militia regiment is hold. What are you doing? Why are you reforming? Why would you reform when the enemy is right there? As soon as the cavalry is gone, we need to order the troops
Our men are running
to retreat. Do you know what? You deserve whatever you get for this militia. This militia unit right here deserves whatever it gets for trying to reform in the way that it did. Okay, you know what? Cannons, hold fire, because you're about to unleash canister in the back of my own regiment. The general is almost about to get attacked over here. Okay, we'll leave that. Oh, now they're firing. Oh, the enemy cavalry is going after my general, are they? They're completely surrounding this regiment right here. We need to pull this one back so that it no longer
Our men are running, sir.
gets shot up through the back. And as soon as they've cleared the cannons will be ordered to fire. I will go ahead and inspire the regiment and hope here that they hold out against the cavalry attack that is coming straight on them. We are firing from the hill.
Our men are running, sir.
Ooh, how's it going over here? It's close. It's close. They're holding on. Come on, rally. There we go. Unfortunately, we lost this one. Yes, they held! First Giovanni held. Heroic actions here by the militia regiment. Right, let's order these quickly into position. The cannons are now firing canister. I probably should have spread them out further. But my idea originally was to move up on this ridge with my entire army. And bring the cannons. But since the enemy cavalry came sooner than I thought, then I ended up in quite a bit of the difficulty. Right, at least I can count on first Giovanni to hold its position. It's a conscript unit, so that should not be too much of a difficulty. They still have a hussar unit out there. Let's see, where is the dangerous units? They seem to be all the way out here. Yeah, we're winning it. He's actually winning against the conscript unit here. What I could do is actually put a regiment in the house and then pull back. And we'll see how that goes. Ooh, this unit right here is marching straight up into the canister. So they're getting fired from the hill, plus they've got all these 6-pounders constantly barraging them with canister. Since we've got lots of enemy units coming there, I'm gonna switch the target of the canister to go that way. And we're gonna go ahead and do the barrage ability. I'm gonna go ahead and inspire this guy again. Because they are still doing well against these guys, but now they're actually slowly losing the fight. I think it's because the enemy has deployed
Glorious victory, sir.
probably in a more spread out line, able to put more guns on them. They need a little bit of support. I will order battery A1 battery, to turn its canister around. Oh, forming square, are we? Turn your guns on them. I want, maybe the regiment should be inside the house if I order you to take control of it. You've got the support of your general. Should I order a charge? Let's give A1 battery a chance to fire once more. And maybe they'll break them for us. Even the numbers out a little bit. Turn towards the square. They are running. Make sure that they keep running. And the square is now running. It's only really this unit here. I ordered them into the house, but they never went inside. I'm ordering the entire army forward. Hold fire. And if you're gonna fire, switch to round shot. Where'd the cavalry unit go? It's no longer seen. I'm gonna order basically everyone to charge. Oh, it's a grenadier regiment. Let's try not to get... Let's try to keep an open avenue for the cannons to fire at that. Or as best as possible anyways. Oh, the cavalry. Hold! Form square. You know what? If we surround the grenadiers, we might actually get them. Cannons hold fire. First Giovanni was able to form square. and the cavalry won't be able to break through. Right, the grenadiers broke, as they had about 3,000 or so men come charging down the hill. As a result of that battle, we lost about the same amount of troops. Luckily though, I was victorious and I managed to absolutely destroy the enemy. A really good performance of the first Giovanni, although they ended up with... is this the first Giovanni? 106 troops left? Or is it... It must be this one, 106 troops remaining. So they lost 279 troops attacked by cavalry and infantry fighting as well, killing 187. Pretty good for a militia regiment. I wonder though if post-battle experience will be lost because of this, because they're gonna have to take on so many new guys to fill up the regiment's strength. They might very well lose some of these post-battle experience. But there we have that. So we did... Oh, we got another one of these. Why did I all of a sudden get them now? I don't know if this one was that heroic. Neither was the one crossing the river. Anyways, unfortunately this was kind of an in-between episode, as I wasn't able to capture anything. And from a previous series I kind of set it out that it's probably a good idea to keep conquering territories each episode, to keep it moving and not like do too many of these kind of episodes where you bogged it down. But hopefully what we're seeing here is obviously the French are contracting. We've taken most of France from them, depending on what side you categorize this area. So hopefully they're not able to recruit a lot. I don't think they're able to recruit anything down here. A lot out here. So they don't have a lot left. Oh, the Prussians are on the move. Hopefully they actually are able to do something here. Maybe if you get this army into support, then maybe they can finally... Maybe they heard me complaining about Brussels and they finally moved into action. I think next target for my attack would be up here. Even though it's kind of heavily fortified with a lot of troops and old guard and so on, I think that's the target, because otherwise the target would be here, and we've got Napoleon running back and forth here, and there's like 3 full stacks in terms of all the troops here. Napoleon is close to this area. So we're still trying to snipe at the edges, but there we have that. So I will say, as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.